Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Sports Central. I'm Neil Duncan. Coming up on Sports Central, we have John Leanhouse, President and CEO of Sun 'n Fun Fly-In, Bill Hostler, and R.C. Howie, Race for the Kids Foundation, and a special package on the Major League Scramble. We have a great show ahead. Stick around, everybody, for this week's edition of Sports Central. Everybody, welcome to Sports Central. Neil Duncan alongside Al Snow, and I made up a new word there in the opening, but
you're very bright. I mean, that education of yours is springing forth these new words. It's
the allergies. I'm going to blame the allergies. It's that time of year. But this first segment of Sports Central brought to us by the Hampton Inn in Winter Haven, great partner of tourism sports marketing. Another great partner of tourism sports marketing is the Sun 'n Fun Fly-In, and we have the man, the myth, the legend, right? John Lights. That's everybody knows you. Leanhouse, but everybody knows you as Lights. And Lights, welcome to the show, and tell us about Sun 'n Fun.
Well, Neil, Al, it's as Ed Sullivan would say, it's a really big show. We're getting ready to have one. It's our 40th anniversary. It's getting huger by the minute. I think the social media that's picked up on the fact that we've got one of the best shows on the planet. It's actually the largest south of Chicago in the entire world. Mm-hmm. So that makes it pretty impressive. But the fact that it's the 40th, everybody wants to come. So now we're getting folks that we have not heard from in years calling to say, can we bring our airplane and come on in? Wow, what an experience this is going to be. So you can't miss a single second of it. 1 to 6 April this year. You got that? That starts on Tuesday, goes through Sunday.
April 1st through the 6th. Blue Angels going to be in town?
Oh, man, my favorite. Now, right now, you know, we got the Thunderbirds are playing their show over at MacDill in Tampa. Mm-hmm. Good on them. But if you want to see the best, come to see the Blue Angels. Tightest, fastest, loudest show on the planet. Flying F/A-18s. That's right, the Hornet. They'll be flying those things for us on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It is a rock and roll show to smoke your mind because it's just hot, fast, and exciting. Along with them, we're going to have the F-22 Raptor. You know what that is? The world's most advanced, technologically competent, capable, lethalest weapon on the earth. The F-22 Raptor will perform on Friday, Saturday, Sunday as well.
Before you ask a question now, because I know you're ready with one, I need you to get a little more excited about Sun 'n Fun because the energy's not there for us, Lights. We need you to get a little more excited. Okay, go ahead. I just had to throw that in there.
Well, I know there's, obviously the air show is kind of the focus for a lot of the people, that are just casual aviation buffs, but there's so much more that goes on at Sun 'n Fun throughout the week. What are some of the other things that go on?
Well, I tell you what's neat about it is the air show is only one component. It's a huge aviation expo. So we bring in over 500 aviation-oriented exhibitors from around the world. This is an international experience. So you could spend 2 days and not see all the products that are out there that are either being shown with new technology and just let you test them, or you could buy it from paint to polish to oils to engines. Everything is there, and you can buy airplanes too. We had a guy last year that just came in, wrote a check for $7.5 million and flew his airplane out of there. How about that? And of course, you can do all the other fun stuff. We have a kid zone out there. We got a great night show that's coming up on Saturday night, celebrating our 40th. We've got Team Aerodynamics. It's going to be put on a beautiful night show. Have dinner, have drinks, enjoy the ambiance of a night experience, and then fireworks to follow. It'll be spectacular. And then throughout the day, we've got workshops, forums. You want to hear really interesting people? How would you like to listen to the second man on the moon, Buzz Aldrin? He'll be out there on Wednesday and Thursday. Pretty cool stuff, huh? How about the guy who stood in the right seat with Jimmy Doolittle when they dropped those bombs over Tokyo in 1942? Dick Cole will be there. Wow. These are the kind of people that come to share the experience of aviation with the youth, because that's what we're really all about. We bring people together for this giant expo, and they all have a good time, you betcha. But don't ever forget, the number one thing that we are, 501c3, nonprofit, this fly-in, it is a fundraiser to put young men and women in Polk County back into a career field that's got great potential for them. Raise literacy, give them personal skills that'll test through time their ability to do anything they want to do. Responsibility, accountability, being confident, those skills come out of aviation. And we have a whole array of educational institutions that this program pays for. So when you come and pay to come through that gate, you're building a brighter future at aviation right there at Sun 'n Fun.
Well, two parts. First of all, let's talk about the cost of admission into the event, and then let's go back and talk about those programs that you just mentioned. First, what's the cost of admission?
Well, it's going to be $37 unless you belong. That's a day. Unless you belong to an aviation-oriented organization, then it drops down to $32, and then it's $15 if you're 11 to 17, and if you're 10 and younger, come on in. It's free. Now, we've been passing out a whole lot of little cards, coupons for 15 and younger. You get in for free anyway. If you bring a parent, you got to come with an adult.
So, if a paid adult, you're going to get in for free.
If you have a 15-year-old coupon or younger, which is a good thing. The night show is another $10 to get in after if you come for the day, you get Saturday's day show and the night show. If you don't come for the day because you got to work, you can still come for the night show. It's another $10, just $10 to get in. So that should be a wonderful opportunity. So all of that money that we raise for those folks coming through the gate, where does that go? Well, it obviously goes to pay the bills. I mean, it's kind of an interesting factor. I'm always asked, hey, can you give me some free tickets? Well, there is no free lunch. The reality is to put the show on for the portalettes and all the food stations and putting in the tents, it's over $2 million. It's got to come from someplace. So when you pay that, the remaining monies go to our Aerospace Center for Excellence. 7 buildings that are education oriented, one of which is an Aerospace Discovery Center. Used to be an old museum called Florida Air Museum. Well, now it's hands-on, interactive, aviation-based learning environment. You can go in there and touch and feel and become immersed in aviation and not even know you're doing it because you're having fun. We've also added a 727 jumbo jet. How would you like to go in? How about this? Our 16-year-old kids can get in the cockpit of a 727 and start them up. Fire up all 3 engines, cycle the controls, check all the gauges, do the navigational gear, and then shut it down and do systems checks. 16 years old. That's part of what the Sun and Fun experience does for the youth in Polk County. That's what we're building, is building good, solid citizens through aviation.
That's fantastic. And I don't know about you, but my dad barely let me start the car when
That's
when
what
I was
thinking
16.
too.
So
I was worried about maybe having $5 for gas and
Right.
727.
And speaking of cars, there's also a kind of new added feature this year to Sun and Fun.
You know, I'm a car guy too. I love airplanes, but I had a car before I had an airplane. Fell in love with old cars. And you know what? Most of the aviation community loves motorized stuff. Well, the motorized stuff that's really hot these days are vintage cars. So we thought, why not? Here's all these aviation enthusiasts. Maybe they want to walk around and look at a car or two. So we're allowing on Saturday and Sunday only, before 9 o'clock, if you've got a car that's 1974 or older, you get to come in with your guest for free. Drive it in, park it, be there all day, get in the evening and drive it home. So we've already got about 200 cars registered that'll be parked right there. When you walk through the gate, you'll see a kid zone, which you'll pay a price to get in there and play with all those kids stuff that's aviation oriented, climb on a space rocket if that's your trick, or you can walk and look at the cars and then you walk into the giant aviation expo. So we got that added as well. Another neat thing we've added this year, we haven't had in a long time, I don't know if people remember, there was an airplane that went down in World War II on the glacier caps of Iceland. It's called a P-38 Lightning. And they went and dug the ice down, took millions and pulled it up, put it back together, and they're flying it. It'll be at Sun and Fun this year, called Glacier Girl.
Wow.
Be there all week. And how would you like to go for a nostalgic ride in the airliner of 1930 in a Ford Tri-Motor? You can do that. Or about a World War II bomber, a B-17. You can fly on one of those. There's 2 big things we're recognizing this year besides our own birthday. We're doing the 100th anniversary of commercial aviation. Where do you think commercial aviation started? Florida. Tampa Bay, January 1, 1914. Tony Jannus flew across from St. Pete to Tampa Bay with the mayor of St. Pete. We have that airplane, and we have the guy who flew it. Well, kind of. He looks and talks like him, but he isn't him. And then we got 100 years of aerial combat. The first triggers were pulled across the circle fighting each other in airplanes, 1914 in Europe. And we've got the oldest flying U.S. combat aircraft in the world, a JN-4 Jenny. And they'll be flying every day. You can't miss it.
No.
Well, you talked about, we hit on briefly, the kids zone. Obviously, if mom or dad or grandma and grandpa are into the aviation, want to go and want to expose the little ones to aviation, but no, it's not going to hold their interest the entire time. There is a kids zone. What all is going to be going on there?
Well, we've got all these rides, obviously the typical bouncy houses,
Right.
but you've got a space shuttle they can climb, they can do rock climbing, they can do zip lining. They've got big containers where you can like walk on the moon. So it's a myriad of, well, I would say 11-year-old and younger atmosphere. Now I know, you might want to go in there, but but
You know me too well, sir.
you probably see me running around in there as well.
Right.
If it's got something to play with and it's aviation, I'm all over it. But the reality is, it's going to be it'll be good for a couple of hours for someone between the age of about 3 years old and 11 years old. And then for a little bit older kids, we've got all kinds of events throughout the day at our workshops that are oriented towards the younger students. Because, yeah, we do have on our campus, we have a high school. Sun and Fun has its own Central Florida Aerospace Academy, 320 students. I'll be at 500 students next year, and they are all over the campus. And they will be part of our event all week long. Several of them will be in uniform. They'll be marshaling airplanes. They'll be helping guests. But our students are becoming good citizens already by volunteering during the fly-in. Pretty neat stuff.
All right. Well, John Leanhouse, we appreciate everything you've done. President and CEO of Sun and Fun, and April 1st through the 6th, correct?
Yes, sir.
What website do they need to go to get more information?
www.sun-fun.org.
Okay. Well, of course, you can always go to visitcentralflorida.org or centralfloridasports.com for more information. Thank you, sir. We look forward to seeing you out there at this year's 40th Annual Sun and Fun.
Absolutely. Neil, Al, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Well, always a great amount of events going on here in Polk County, and recently one of those events was the 2014 Light Up the Night. We were able to send our crew out there and get some great footage. Check this out. Neil and Al right back here on Sports Central.
This is our Light Up the Night 5K food and truck rally, and we meet downtown Winter Haven to raise funds and have a great time in the evening to promote the Junior League of Greater Winter Haven in downtown Winter Haven. The Junior League of Greater Winter Haven is an organization of women, and we help promote women volunteering in the community, and a lot of our projects work strictly with women and children. And we also do a Kids in the Kitchen with Girls Inc., and we help provide healthy after-school snacks for the girls. The benefits for Polk County include, we have a Junior League mobile food bus where we raise money to help provide food for those who are hungry. We have a mobile food bus that goes around and provides them food. We also have teacher mini grants that we sponsor teachers twice a year in the classroom to help them provide products and different things for their children in the classroom. They could buy reading material, iPads, that type of thing. We also have scholarships that we give out to seniors each year. We do this once a year. This is our second annual Light Up the Night. This year we've teamed up with Main Street Winter Haven to provide the food truck rally. So these food trucks are coming from all over Central Florida. So we're really excited to have a wide variety of various food trucks and delicious food for everybody to enjoy. Van Haven is performing this year. We're really excited to have them on board. They're a great, fun band that likes to support downtown Winter Haven events. The Junior League of Greater Winter Haven is really excited and very thankful to be partnering with the City of Winter Haven so that we can have a glowing event again this year with Light Up the Night.
Everybody, welcome back to Sports Central. Neil Duncan alongside Al Snow, and some great footage from that event.
Unbelievable, everything we've got going on, and once again, heading into another weekend, we're going to be busy.
This segment, second segment, brought to us by Abuelos, and we need to stop having our restaurant partners as the segment sponsors because it's the noon hour and quite hungry.
I am as well. And Abuelos, you can't go wrong, that's for sure.
That's right. Another place you can't go wrong is the Race for the Kids Foundation event. And now joining us on the program is R.C. Howie and Bill Hostler with the Race for the Kids event. And guys, welcome back to the program.
Thanks for having us.
For those who don't know, this is the third annual event, correct? Yeah. When is it? What is it? Where is it? And how can people get involved? Either one.
April 25, 26, 27.
Okay.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday at the Boys and Girls Club in Winter Haven on Havendale Boulevard. We will be testing Friday, racing Saturday and Sunday from 1 o'clock to about 5 o'clock. A little testing in the morning each day. And Bill knows more about admission prices and parking, and I'm just a racer, dumb old racer.
Bill, let's talk about admission and parking and all those things
admission
before.
is only $1 a person this year, and it's $5 to park your car inside. Last year we had 89 entries. The furthest guy came in from Washington State.
Wow.
We got boats. Some of these boats will run well over 100. In fact, RC runs right on 100 with his runabout that he runs. We have a kids class called K-Pro. And those kids are from I think it's from 10 to 16, and then they have to get out at 16, but they're running right in their high 50s. So it's a lot of excitement, a lot of good people to show up. You can come down, you can walk through the pits, you can talk with the drivers, and all the benefits. Every benefit goes to the Boys and Girls Club. That's the reason we're doing it right there.
Fantastic.
Well, and you know, you're talking about some fast boats on the water. I mean, some boat racing. What are a couple of the types of boats people can see out there?
Well, we have hydroplanes, and there's two kinds. The reinforced capsule boats, reinforced cockpit. They don't like the word capsule. Powers to be. The other hydros are either kneel down or lay down, and then we have runabouts. And because it's so hard to describe what a runabout is, I brought a picture. This is a typical runabout. This is a 500 cc. It's a 30 cubic inches. And it's about 90 miles an hour plus right there, almost 100. Wow. When that picture was taken. And got to give credit to F. Pierce Williams, who took the photo.
You're talking about the runabouts. The holes, if I'm correct, are flat bottom, but they turn real well, right?
Yeah.
Pinpoint turning.
They all turn real well. Even the hydros turn.
Even the
real well.
hydros do too. Okay. But they require the most skill. Is that fair to say?
Nope.
No?
He's a runabout driver, and I was a hydro driver until I was 80. They don't, it doesn't require more skill. It takes a giant set.
Okay. So they're pretty fast, is what we're hearing. Talk to us about the hydroplanes.
Well, they're fast too.
Yeah.
What's the difference? I guess I'm
Most
trying to
of the-
figure out what the difference is.
Most of the
between-
people lay down in all the people are laying down in hydroplanes right
Okay.
now. We had a-
Hydroplane's designed around more of an airfoil, where you're packing air under the boat. You have sponsons that help it not tip in the turn. You have air traps that help hold the air underneath the boat. And the decking of the hydro is part of the whole airfoil situation. We've taken the lift out of these runabouts by not having a front deck anymore. The sides just come straight down because we were starting to go so fast, we couldn't keep boats on the water. So they had to come up with some idea to keep them on the water.
So the hydroplanes, I guess, in everybody's mind are similar to what they may have seen, like the Miss Budweiser. I mean, obviously
Most
those are
famous
bigger,
hydro of all.
are bigger
Oh.
versions. Are you talking the same size, or are these kind of scaled
It's the
down
same,
versions here?
same principle design, except obviously Miss Budweiser's an inboard, these are outboards, but the principle's all the same. In fact, the first three-point hydro was an outboard.
Yeah.
Well, RC, you've been racing for 44 years, is that correct?
44 years,
And 11 national championships. Talk to us about that.
12 national
I'm s-
championships.
My information is not up to date.
And hopefully 5 more.
I was going to say, hopefully, yeah, well, another one around the corner here. But talk to us about that, the process, how you got involved, and what your career has been like throughout.
Well, I'm a second-generation boat racer, which isn't unusual. Most of the racers come out of a racing family. In fact, the Eldridges are 4 generations working on a 5th. They're not the only ones. We have quite a few that are multi-generation. So my father raced, his first cousin raced, and that's all I wanted to do. And the interesting thing is my dad started in 50, my cousin in 60, and me in 70.
Wow.
It's one of the biggest families in the world, actually, boat racers are, because it comes from family member to family member is what it was. I raced, my daughter raced, my son raced, my dad raced. In fact, I raced up until my partner, who is the same age as I am, 80, put me out of business. Yeah.
Well, you were talking a little bit about the kids' classes that are going to be
Yes,
there, and
yeah.
if some kids actually come out to the races and have an interest, what kind of is your advice to them? How could they kind of follow up on that and maybe explore that a little further about becoming a
Everybody,
racer?
every driver out there or anybody in the pits will talk to them and tell them how to do this, because the more new people we can bring in, the longer this boat racing will last. For what it is, right?
Yeah, everybody's helpful.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, Bill talks about a family sport. I have boat racers that are closer to me than family members. My, actual cousins and uncles and aunts. I've been to their weddings, I've been to their funerals, been to their birthday parties and anniversaries more so than I have with some of my own family members.
So a tight-knit community.
It's
We're
tight-knit, and you need a helping hand starting. There's some technical abilities you have to rig these boats, to set them up, to learn how to drive them. And the best way is to talk to a veteran. And every veteran needs to take a young guy, young girl under their arm and let me help you.
mentoring.
Sure.
Yeah, I love that.
Well, I think that probably goes right into talking about the Citrus Center for Boys and Girls and what the actual charity is
Yeah.
for the event, because it's the same principle of mentoring and helping. And talk to us. I know you said all proceeds for the event go to
The Boys and Girls
the
Club.
Boys and Girls Club. But what kind of programs are being offered at the Boys and Girls Club so people get a sense of how they're really helping in the community?
I think they do basketball. They do a lot of basketball there. They do some softball for the kids. They work with
After school program
yes,
type stuff.
That's what it is. All after school programs. They have.
Keeping kids out of trouble and off the
Yeah,
streets and
yeah.
that kind of thing.
Yeah, there's two branches. One in Haines City and one in Lake Wales is where there are 2 branches of this main office, which is right there on Cypress Gardens Boulevard. Or not Cypress Gardens, Winter Haven Boulevard. Yeah.
Okay. Well, the 3rd annual Race for the Kids event will be April 25th through the 27th. Is there a website they can go to get more information?
Yes. RaceForTheKidsFoundation.org.
Okay, raceforthekidsfoundation.org. Guys, hopefully we'll have you back soon. You have 12 national championships. I stand corrected, but hopefully when we have you back, there'll be more, right?
Hopefully 5 more.
5 more. All right. Well, good luck on the event. We certainly appreciate it. Go to raceforthekidsfoundation.org for more information. Hopefully we can get them on after the event and they can talk about what a huge success it was. Get people out there, get them active. Another way we want to get people out there and get them active is through some of these special segments PGTV have been producing for us. This is hiking tips. A lot of areas here in Polk County you can go hiking. Check this out. Al and Neil will be back right here on Sports Central.
Hi, I'm Shannon, the Natural Resources Extension Agent, and I'm here at Tiger Creek Preserve to give you some tips and advice for hiking in Central Florida. Safety is really important if you want to make sure you had a good day hiking. Some things to consider are making sure that you bring enough water. I'm not talking one water bottle. You should bring more water than you think you're going to need. You never know if the trail's longer than you expected or if the weather turns. Something else to consider is hiking with a buddy. Hiking with a buddy ensures your safety in case something happens. You also want to tell a friend or family member where you're hiking and when to expect you back. This is critically important in case you're injured or if you get lost. Knowing what time you get back and where you went will help rescuers find you. Something else you might want to consider is bringing a whistle. Whistles are great emergency supplies because they can help your message get out farther. If you're hurt or lost, the whistle will get your message much farther than yelling will and won't exhaust you as fast. 3 quick whistle blasts is the international sign for help and requires a lot less energy than yelling. While hiking, if you encounter wildlife, don't approach. Give them their space and let them move along at their own pace. Never feed wildlife because it associates people with food, and with some species, like alligators, it may even be illegal. These were just some tips to help you with your next hiking adventure. Remember to get outside and enjoy Polk County's beautiful parks and trails. Be safe and have a great time.
We're here at the 2014 Major League Scramble, the 19th annual Major League Scramble at Grasslands. Detroit Tigers in town for the 78th season of spring training here in Polk County. Let's take a look at some of the action and catch up with some of the Detroit Tiger players. We're here with Rick Porcello and Torrey Hunter of the American League Central Division champs, 3 times running. First time you guys have come to Lakeland with having won 3 in a row like that. First of all, how's the new skipper working out for you?
Oh man, Brad is awesome, man. He's funny in the clubhouse. He has us pumped up before the early morning practice and the blood flowing, and but at the same time he knows what he's doing. A guy with 18 years, you have nothing but respect for him.
Rick, how's it different going from Jimmy Leland to a new manager? And you know, we talked about the atmosphere, but the on-field stuff, how's it different? How the strategy's different?
Well, it's hard to tell right now. You know, we're only in a couple weeks into spring training. Obviously, we'll get a better feel once we get into the season. But you know, I love playing for Skip, and Brad looks like he's gonna be a lot of fun to play for too. So I'm looking forward to it.
We're on the 19th annual Major League Scramble here at Grasslands for the first year. What are you thinking so far?
Well, it's really a fun day. You know, it's a break for our players to get away from the routine of everyday spring training practicing, and for our fans and some of our sponsors to come out and get a little sunshine and have a lot of fun.
Let's talk about where the money, the proceeds go, because the Tigers, not only are they here for 6 weeks during spring training, but really the organization's here year-round. Let's talk about the foundation and what it supports.
Well, we have a Detroit Tiger Foundation of Florida, and all the money that we raise, not only from the golf tournament, but from our 50-50 draft raffle at the ball games and also our spring training auctions, all that money goes back into the community in Polk County. So we try to help out a lot of people that need our help.
78 seasons in the Lakeland community and going strong. Hopefully we get a World Series this year.
Well, that's how you always want to win the last game. And if you look at this team, it's changed a little bit, but there's a lot of enthusiasm, there's a lot of talent, but you need a little luck. So hopefully this year the luck's on our side and we play that last game of the year and we win.
We'd be remiss not to mention the Lakeland Flying Tigers, because that is the team that's here all summer long. Great family-friendly atmosphere. Tell us about the Lakeland Flying Tigers.
Well, we're very proud of our minor league team. You know, in the last 6 years, we've had close to 35 guys go to the big league. So Our job is to help produce major league players. We're a smokeless factory in the community, and we have a lot of fun. It's very it's inexpensive, so you can bring the family out and possibly see some of the major league players of tomorrow.
All right, go see the course, but don't see a lot of it.
You know, I usually see the sides.
I'm here with Jim DeGennaro, Community Development Manager for Polk County Board of County Commissioners, and DG, as a lot of people know him as. And tell us a little bit about what your position entails and how having a team like the Detroit Tigers in our community for 78 years affects that.
Yes, sir. Thanks. My position, I do retail development throughout the county: Wawa, Racetrack, Family Dollar, Dollar General, Publix, Mom and Pop. Of course, the Detroit Tigers have been here for 78 years, and it brings a certain amount of what's the word, Neil? There's a specialness associated to that. Not only in dollars, we have all kinds of people who trade, if you will, when the fans come down for the 6-week period, put a lot of money into the economy. A lot of our retail people do. And then when the bylines for the Tigers games go all over the country, if not the world, it puts Lakeland and Polk County on the map, and you just can't buy that kind of press.
We're here with Justin Verlander, and Justin, once again, thanks for coming out for the event. Of course, it's for the Tigers Foundation of Florida, but another spring training in Lakeland.
Yeah, another spring training, man. This is, I think, my 10th one, so, just really enjoy being down here. I actually come down to Lakeland early in January. I like being down here, love the weather. I've made some friends in the area, so I always have a blast, and this event's always a lot of fun for me.
New skipper in town. Of course, having Jimmy Leland for a long time, and now the new manager. See any differences yet? I know it's early in spring training, but any noticeable differences?
Well, yeah, obviously it's different. He's a little bit more new school, I would say, I guess. Probably a little bit more like sabermetric type manager. Is going to want to run and do a lot of different things. So, not better or worse, but different. And, I'm excited to play for him.
78 years Tigers spring training here in Lakeland. I know you even have a home here, but so you're probably a great one to ask about the Lakeland community, but a great place to come spring train.
Oh, absolutely. Not only the Lakeland community, but the Detroit fans as well. Everybody seems to come down here and spend a week or two down here in the nice weather in the Lakeland area. And it's like you said, I live down here. I have a house here, and I've always enjoyed being a part of the Lakeland community.
Heard at the Tiger Barbecue, Dave Dombrowski mentioned this is the first time Detroit has come down and been the division champs 3 straight years. Obviously looking to get that World Series title this year. Think things look good for that?
Yeah, I think ever since I've been here, really it's looked like we've had a chance to win the World Series, and that's all you can ask for. Once you get to the playoffs, every team is World Series capable. It's just a matter of playing your best ball at that time. We've come close in many of the years I've been here, but we just haven't quite been able to accomplish that goal, and hopefully this is the year.
One final question, and we'll let you get going, but with a pitching staff like you guys have at the Tigers, does that drive you, knowing that the 4 other guys in the starting rotation are doing so well?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're all extremely competitive. We wouldn't be here if we weren't, and we feed off one another. One guy goes out there and has a great start. You want to do better than he did. That's just kind of the nature of it, and that's how you get on a roll and continue to go out there and have good start after good start. And we definitely feed off of one another.
Well, after seeing that drive, we'll let you go and look for you in the long drive championship.
All right, sounds good.
Thanks, Justin. Here with Joe Nathan and joining the Tigers this year and trying to help shore up that bullpen. And welcome to Lakeland.
Thank you. Yeah, having a good time, good company, great course, and easy way to come out and spend some time, raise some money, and enjoying Lakeland.
What's it mean to be part of the Tigers organization? Of course, they've got a long, storied history. What's it mean to be a part of the Tigers?
Just pretty cool to come here first of all in spring training and be part of the longest running facility out there, and see the history and fan support, and obviously what we're trying to accomplish now. The goal is get back to postseason, and ultimate goal get into the World Series. So just an honor to be a part of this club that is so deep and so well-rounded. So we're looking forward to it.
You look at the starting rotation. Do you think I'm not going to get very many opportunities? Is that what you want, or you want an occasional opportunity to get that save?
I got no problem if they want to go out and throw 9 innings every time, but hopefully every once in a while they can, maybe give me an out or two to get, so I feel a part of this club.
Well, that's going to wrap up the 2014 Major League Scramble here at Grasslands. A fantastic event, all benefiting the Detroit Tigers Foundation of Florida. Hopefully next year when we're here, we'll see a world championship from the Detroit Tigers, and they'll be back in town for their 79th season of spring training. Until then, this is Neil Duncan for Sports Central. Back to you.
I started playing basketball when I was about 6 years old because my parents just kind of threw me in a little rec league. My parents definitely inspired me to play, and they still are a big inspiration in me playing. My favorite athlete is Kevin Durant because he's very long and tall and he can still do the things that he does on the court. My favorite subject in school is math because it's fun. I don't know, I like solving problems. My biggest accomplishment is getting my first Division I offer. I'm in National Junior Honor Society, and other than that, I play basketball. My best friend would say that I'm loyal. I would describe myself as determined because I've been playing basketball for this many years and I'm still going at it.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Sports Central. Neil Duncan alongside Al Snow, and that third segment was brought to us by Sunsplash Vacation Homes. This fourth and final segment going to be brought to us by People's Barbecue, and went ahead and took a look at some footage we got from the Major League Scramble. Great event with the Tigers.
It was phenomenal. I mean, great weather. All the Tigers showed up.
Yeah.
Had a great time. I mean, they were enjoying themselves. The couple of groups that you had a chance to talk to here and there. I mean, Verlander and them, they love the event. I mean, I think it personally, it gives them a way to kind of get in spring training frame of mind. I mean, they've basically transitioned from being at home to walking into spring training. So
Right.
It's a way for them to kind of kick back and know that the next day things start, and the Florida Southern game was the next day. So
Well, and it's part of the family atmosphere, if you will, between Lakeland and the Tigers, and Polk County and the Tigers, and the fact that it's something they used to do. They had Tigers coming out of the woodwork that wanted to participate in this, and you look at some of the people that were there: Justin Verlander, former Cy Young Award winner; Max Scherzer, reigning Cy Young Award winner, and then the rest of that pitching staff is fantastic. You got Torrey Hunter, you got, it just goes on and on and on. So, do want to say a special thank you to the Tigers organization, of course, Ron Myers, Dave Dombrowski, Zach Zach Burek, all the way through for assisting and putting that event on, if you will. In Grasslands, they did a great job out there as well. So great event. We've got some other great events that are coming up here soon, sir.
Yeah, and kind of rolling into the spring training, it's amazing that we're 2 weeks left in spring training. I mean, April 1st is coming up pretty soon, but Detroit Tigers are still in town for a couple more weeks. Now's the time to see a game if you have a chance, and they've got the Braves coming into town. We've got the Rays coming into town. I know Ron's been pretty full over there, but there's still an opportunity to see them before they head back up north to Detroit.
Absolutely, and don't forget the Flying Tigers will be starting right after them. So it's a neat opportunity here in Polk County to have a minor league baseball team you can go out and see every night.
I mean, the thing about the Flying Tigers is it's so fun. I mean, they and Zach and the staff over there, they do promotions every night, usually 3 or 4 or 5 promotions. I mean, they've got the fireworks on Fridays. You've got, everything from, dollar hot dog night to, various civic groups that they let in at reduced costs. Always fun things to go on, and before it gets hot and sticky, now's a good time to head out and see the Flying Tigers.
Well, get the youngsters off the couch, out from the Xbox and the PlayStation and things like that. Take them out to the ballpark. It's America's pastime. And if you look at the cost of doing other things in Florida or really anywhere, it's family friendly and it's very affordable. They make the price point very affordable, and you probably go and do a Tigers game cheaper than you can go to the movies. So check out the ball game there.
Yeah, I mean, a favorite promotion, they generally do one of the 4-pack, you get 4 hot dogs, 4 sodas, and 4 tickets for, not even $15 or $20 or whatever it is.
Right.
I mean, you can't beat that. There's nowhere else you can go in town. Try going to a movie for that.
That's
one ticket.
One person. Well, we also talk other spring training. Of course, 78th year of spring training with Tigers. Back next year for 79th, and hopefully have a World Series championship, as we talked about with some of the players there. But spring break sports, lacrosse, another part of our initiative of spring break type activities in Polk County. What's that all about?
Yeah, I mean, taking a look at our schedule. I mean, you've got lacrosse, you've got baseball, you've got soccer. I mean, pretty much any sport in spring break sports. Basically gives some of those northern teams a chance to come down and play some games before the snow is gone from their fields up north. So they're in town at Northeast Regional Park. They'll be here through the 25th of March. And lacrosse is a great game. It's growing. I know some of those local schools are starting to get teams. So go out and see some great lacrosse over the next week or so.
We've always talked about and been known as the water ski capital of the world, and on a radio show last night we were able to talk to a couple individuals, including Bob Crowley, the executive director of USA Water Ski. But March 20th through the 22nd, the U.S. show nationals team will be here in Polk County training for the Worlds. It'll be going on in Wisconsin, I believe, in August. So that's a neat opportunity.
Yeah, again, just something new, something different to do. And obviously, you can walk across the lakes up north right now, so they come down here to train, and a few days of training to go out and watch this team before get their preparations for the year, and something great to do.
Another neat part about that is at Lake Silver once a month, the old Cypress Gardens water ski show, the crew has gotten back together and they're doing that out there. Of course, all these events, you can go to centralfloridasports.com or visit centralflorida.org to get a full listing. Events that are coming up, events are listed or updated all the time as new things come on board. Lakeland Hawks Basketball Classic, that's another one of those events, Al, March 21st through the 23rd, 30 to 40 competitive travel basketball teams coming in, various gymnasiums across the county. You can go to lakelandhawksbasketball.com, but it's going to bring economic impact, and it's a good fit. We're going to try to bring it to Polk County. Also, Youth Basketball of America coming in.
Oh, yeah, they've got their March Mania event coming up the 21st through 23rd. Basketball, just again, another different sport that brings a lot of teams to the area and really love the area. There's a number of high school gyms that will be hosting those events, and that's FloridaYBOA.com. You can get a full schedule there, and move from basketball to golf, an event that's been here for a long time. The Florida's Natural Charity Classic going on down at Lake Wales Country Club.
you,
Lake
made
Wheels.
fun of, you made fun of me, but there you go. Lake Wales Country Club.
But
yeah.
I mean, part of
21st through the 23rd.
It's a Symetra Tour. Used to be the Futures Tour, which has been in Lakeland for 15, 16 years now.
Right.
And you know, the future stars of the LPGA are playing down there, trying to earn their cards for
It's their
next year.
developmental league, correct?
Yeah, it's basically like their minor league. The top 10 players will get their cards on the LPGA. So, you know, you're talking about future stars, you know, similar to, you know, Morgan Pressel or Michelle Wie or some of them are playing right now this week, and some phenomenal players on that tour.
And the show Big Break, don't they typically pull from that tour to put on that TV show?
Yeah, there's several Big Break alumni that are playing in the event, and yeah, that's one of the places they look for some of the up and coming stars to cast for that show. So if you're a Big Break fan or just a golf fan, you'll recognize a lot of those faces.
Yeah, this weekend, March 22nd through the 23rd, we also have the ISA, the Independent Softball Association's Youth March Jam. That'll be going on at the Bartow 555 Park at the Recreation Complex there. And you can't say enough about what the Independent Softball Association brings to Polk County. And as you're seeing, there's multiple events, but in different sports. Diversifying that portfolio.
Yeah, you know, big, huge soccer tournament going on as well. FYSA, Florida Youth Soccer Association, their State Cup, which is the best of the best competitive teams. I mean, you're talking, you know, possible future collegiate stars and you know, possible Olympic team prospects coming out of this tournament, and that's going on at the Lake Myrtle Sports Park the 29th through the 30th. And the U16 boys division, which again, you're talking kids that are being scouted by some of the top soccer programs in the country. That first round tournament's right down the road in Lake Myrtle and Auburndale.
Absolutely. March 29th and March 30th, the 2014, I gotta make sure I say this all right, Florida Synchronized Swimming Spring Invitational Meet. That is a lot to say. 2014 Florida Synchronized Swimming Spring Invitational Meet, March 29th and 30th. This is at the Lakeland YMCA, put on by the Flamingo Synchro Swim Team. That is a lot to say. You know what? You finished saying this, but a great event going on there.
Yeah, I mean, synchronized swimming. Again, something totally different that you don't see all the time.
It's not using a baseball field or a softball field. It's using a pool that we have inventory.
Plenty of inventory here. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of great swimming programs from Florida Southern's great college teams, you know, right down to, you know, some of the YMCA programs and local programs. And, you know, I think you were kind of stumbling over that on purpose. I know you're a synchronized swimmer, so I think you should make an appearance here and just, you know, let people come out and see you.
I don't think anybody wants to see that anytime soon, I can guarantee you. We mentioned earlier the Lakeland Flying Tigers getting ready to start, I believe, April 3rd or 4th, somewhere around there. They start their season. That goes all the way through the end of August. We talked about the affordability, and there's a great product. It's kind of hard. We've talked to Zach Burek, the GM there. It's kind of hard to follow that team the entire time because as they do better, they get called up to go somewhere else. So managing at that level of the minor leagues is very difficult because you never know what you're going to have the next day.
Right. Yeah. I mean, putting a competitive team on the field. I mean, your rosters change by week, and the Flying Tigers have done a good job of putting some great competitive teams on the field. I mean, they're only a year removed from the Florida State League Championship, and they do a great job out there. And just to go see a really high-level baseball game, and again, remembering that a lot of those players are future stars for the Tigers or other major league teams, and not to mention the fact that you know, if you have some rehab starts from some of those major league players, they come on back down. So you may see some of those. Hopefully not those Detroit Tigers players, but from some of the other teams as well.
And it's just a reminder of the fact that Detroit Tigers and the relationship with Polk County, it's not just 6 weeks, it's year-round here in Polk County. So great economic impact. Real quick, I know you went to an event last night at Bach Tower Gardens. What do they have going on?
Bach Tower is in the midst of a great celebration. I mean, there's you're basically in peak bloom right now out at Bach Tower. It was absolutely gorgeous. You know, I can't say enough. Bach Tower has to be one of the top places in the state to see a sunset. I mean, the sunset last night was just spectacular. And Brian Osowski and David Price and the crew out there have events going on similar to, you know, all the baseball and events. And they have events going on just about every weekend. They've got the Carol Honor concerts. They have their big Carol Honor Festival coming up in the next, I think next month. Bach Tower is really a great place to go and a gem here in Central Florida that people know about it, and if you go back, there's something different every time.
Well, it takes great partners, and of course Legoland doing very well, and they've announced the new resort hotel there, and you talk about Bach Tower and all the things and the many partners that we have here in Polk County. We're blessed, and we're also blessed to, I'm going to go off script a minute for here, blessed to have Sports Central and the commitment the Board of County Commissioners has made, but also the people who work behind the camera. One of those people is leaving us, has been our producer of this show for quite a long time. I really don't, when it's long enough that you don't know how long it's been a long time, but I'm pretty sure she can hear me, but if Kate West is back there, I want her to come on out here. This is Kate's last show with us. She's really the reason that we look good, and she fixes when we do really bad. So we appreciate everything that Kate has done, but hopefully she's making her way. We're going to bring her. Come on, we got a chair for you. Come on set here. But we just want to bring Kate on. Moving on from your career here at PGTV and Sports Central, and first of all, just on behalf of Tourism and Sports Marketing, I want to thank you for all that you've done for us. But maybe we're going to give you a chance to throw us under the bus. Maybe talk about some of the great memories you've had with Sports Central, or just being part of county government.
I don't have a microphone.
Oh, we need to grab a microphone real quick. See, that's the things we don't know.
This is why I'm behind the scenes.
Part of the things that we don't know. There he is. I'm going to grab a microphone here.
All right, what was the question again?
Now we finally get it. One of the things that I'm going to miss, and then I'll go back to it, is on the other side of this wall is where all the magic takes place, and I can hear Kate back there going, tell him to do this, tell him to do that. I'm going to miss that part of it, but Kate, tell us what it's been like, and what have you learned in your time with Polk County government and PGTV, because it really is about the citizens of Polk County.
Well, I started at PGTV as an intern, and it was just some place to kind of get a couple more skills before I got into the real world, and I didn't realize that this is the real world. And there's so many things going on in Polk County that that I never knew about until I started working here in the communications office with this team, and I have learned so much about the tourism aspect and everything that goes into planning all of the different sporting events, and all of the citizens, all of the services that are offered to the citizens through Veteran Services, through the health department, and it's really opened my eyes, and I've gotten to work on so many different projects that it's really been exciting.
What do you think obviously you're leaving to further your career somewhere else, but what do you think the final takeaway is of your time in Polk County, as far as, let's get more specific to Sports Central, because we could do a blooper tape, and we've done those, we don't necessarily air them because not all that should actually be seen probably, but what are some of the takeaways? You mentioned briefly the tourism and sports side, because there is a lot of things to see and do here in Polk County that people just don't realize. Mm-hmm. So what are some of those takeaways? What if someone came into Polk County, what would be the first thing you told them to go do? How can they get involved?
Really, it's go to visit Central Florida Sports, or visit Central Florida or centralfloridasports.com, and just find the schedules. Go to the locations. Go to the Lakeland Center. Go to Lake Myrtle, and sit and watch a high school ball game, or check out some of the shows that are going on. You just have to get out there in the community and get involved.
That was actually a test. We want to make sure you actually did learn what we
okay,
do.
Good. I can,
so you did a
I'm
great
allowed
job.
to go now. Right?
You're allowed to go now. Now, but Kate, sincerely on behalf of Tourism and Sports Marketing, we thank you for everything you've done for us and for the show, and just being there for us, because as you know, we lead very hectic schedules and jobs with what we do, and you made us look good, and you made us look better, and we appreciate it.
And it's been very difficult to make you look good, Tom, but I've done what
sitting on that. Well, all
I've
right.
done my best.
Yeah, all right. Well, thank you, Kate, so much. And we'll hang around here for a few minutes and give you a proper goodbye off air. But we want to thank some of our sponsors of today's show: Contempo Vacation Homes, Hampton Inn Lakeside Village, Holiday Inn Winter Haven, Legoland Florida, and The Ledger. We'd also like to thank you for watching and your continuous support. Our next live show will be Friday, April 4th. Until then, you can catch us on the following dates and times. Until then, for Al Snow, this is Neil Duncan. For Sports Central, again, a special thank you to Kate West. We appreciate all of her work, and we will see you again next time.